The Masters tournament has always been a stage where the smallest details can make the biggest difference. Precision, control, and consistency are everything at Augusta National Golf Club, and even the slightest miscalculation can separate contenders from the rest of the field. That's exactly why what happened to Brooks Koepka during the opening rounds of the 2026 Masters is so remarkable, and frankly, quite bizarre. Koepka, a seasoned major champion known for his composure under pressure, delivered a solid performance to begin the tournament. By most standards, his opening was impressive enough to keep him in contention. But what no one, not even Koepka himself, initially realized was that he had been playing with the wrong equipment setting on one of the most crucial clubs in his bag, his driver. It wasn't until after his second round that the truth finally came to light. Following a strong round of 69, Koepka casually revealed during an interview that something had been off. His driving, in particular, hadn't felt quite right during the opening stretch of the tournament. At first, it was just a subtle inconsistency, nothing glaring enough to immediately raise alarms. But as the round progressed, it became clear that something wasn't clicking. "I just drove it better," Koepka explained when comparing his second round to the first. "Somehow, my setting on the driver switched from A1 to B1. No one noticed it. That one small adjustment, barely noticeable to the untrained eye, ended up having a significant impact on his performance." Golf, especially at the elite level, is a game of millimeters. A minor tweak in equipment can dramatically alter ball flight, shot shape, and overall control. In Koepka's case, that tiny change turned into a major factor. The issue stemmed from his Titleist GT3 driver, specifically its adjustable sure-fit hosel. This system allows players to fine-tune loft and lie angle to suit their swing preferences. Koepka's preferred setting is A1, which provides a standard setup optimized for his natural ball flight. However, unbeknownst to him, the driver had somehow been adjusted to the B1 setting. While the difference between A1 and B1 might seem negligible, less than a degree, it has a meaningful effect on performance. The B1 setting positions the club slightly flatter, promoting a fade bias. For a right-handed golfer like Koepka, this can make it more difficult to consistently find fairways, especially on a course as demanding as Augusta National. That subtle shift explained a lot. During his opening round, Koepka struggled off the tee, missing 6 of his first 7 fairways. For a player of his caliber, that's highly unusual. Known for his powerful and accurate driving, Koepka has historically been one of the best in the game in terms of strokes gained off the tee. In fact, during his last full season on the PGA Tour in 2021, Koepka ranked among the elite in that category, gaining over half a stroke per round against the field. Even more impressively, from his debut season in 2014 through 2021, he never ranked outside the top 28 in strokes gained off the tee. That level of consistency is a testament to his skill and precision. However, the 2026 season has told a different story. His driving numbers have dipped significantly, with Koepka gaining just a fraction of a stroke off the tee compared to his peers. At one point, he was ranked outside the top 70 in that metric, a surprising decline for someone who built his reputation on dominance in major championships. Now, with the revelation about his driver setting, those struggles suddenly make more sense. Reports suggest that the B1 setting may not have been a recent mistake. In fact, evidence from various golf outlets indicates that Koepka could have been using this setup for months without realizing it. Looking back, there were subtle hints. During the Valspar Championship earlier in the season, Koepka mentioned making an adjustment to his equipment but didn't go into specifics. At the time, it didn't raise much attention. But in hindsight, it could have been related to the unnoticed change in his driver configuration. If that's the case, it means Koepka may have been competing at a disadvantage for a significant period. And yet, he still managed to remain competitive, a testament to his talent and resilience. Fortunately for Koepka, the rules of golf provided a lifeline. Under regulations set by the United States Golf Association, players are allowed to make equipment adjustments between rounds, as long as they do not replace the club entirely. This meant Koepka could correct the issue heading into his second round. Once the driver was reset to its intended A1 position, the difference was immediate. His driving improved noticeably, and the results followed. In the second round, Koepka found more fairways and played with greater confidence off the tee. The improvement was reflected not just in his performance but also in the statistics. After losing strokes off the tee in the opening round, he gained nearly a full stroke in the second. His overall play also saw an uptick, as he carded 6 birdies against just 3 bogeys. By the end of the round, he had climbed the leaderboard and positioned himself within striking distance of the leaders. Despite the bizarre nature of the situation, Koepka took it in stride. Known for his calm demeanor, he didn't make excuses or dwell on the mistake. Instead, he focused on the positives and looked ahead. "I feel like I'm striking it exactly the way I wanted to," he said. "Obviously, the driver is back in the right settings, so I know where the misses are. Everything feels solid." However, he was quick to point out that his game wasn't perfect. While his ball striking had improved, he acknowledged that his putting and short game still needed work. "If I hit a few putts a little bit harder, they probably would have gone in," he noted, hinting at missed opportunities for an even lower score. Beyond his performance on the course, Koepka has also been navigating challenges off it. His return to the PGA Tour following his stint with LIV Golf has been a topic of significant debate within the golfing world. One of the most vocal critics has been Tom Watson, who expressed strong opinions about how returning players should be treated. Watson suggested that players who left for LIV Golf should have to earn their way back through the Korn Ferry Tour, rather than being allowed immediate reinstatement. His comments sparked a broader discussion about fairness, loyalty, and the evolving landscape of professional golf. Koepka, however, chose not to engage in the controversy. When asked about Watson's remarks, he responded with composure and respect. "Everybody is entitled to their own opinion," he said. "That's fine if he thinks that. He's not the first person to think that." Rather than getting caught up in the debate, Koepka expressed gratitude for the opportunity to compete again at the highest level. His focus remains firmly on his game and making the most of his return. That return hasn't come without conditions. As part of his reinstatement, Koepka agreed to several stipulations, including forfeiting eligibility for certain financial incentives and committing to a significant charitable contribution. These measures reflect the ongoing efforts to balance the interests of players, tours, and fans in a rapidly changing sport that in the end, Koepka's story at the 2026 Masters is one of both frustration and resilience. A simple equipment oversight, something as small as a 1-degree adjustment, had the potential to derail his tournament. Yet, once identified and corrected, he quickly regained his form and reminded everyone why he's considered one of the best in the game. As the tournament progresses, all eyes will be on Koepka to see if he can build on his momentum. With his driver back in the correct setting and his confidence restored, he has all the tools needed to make a serious run at the title. And if there's one lesson to take away from this unusual episode, it's this: in golf, every detail matters. Even the smallest oversight can have a significant impact, but for players like Brooks Koepka, the ability to adapt and recover is what truly defines greatness.